This game is gonna be good for the brand. And if you know, you know. What's up, everybody? 40 the Broadway saying here, and welcome back again to my YouTube channel. And in this video is gonna be my long-awaited review on the closed beta for Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, now that the closed beta has come to an end. Before we get started with that, you guys know the drill. If you enjoy what you see on this channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell. That way you guys are not missing out on future uploads. Leave a like on this video and comment down below whether or not if you got into the closed beta and what are your thoughts and feedback so far for Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. This past week of playing through the closed beta for Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis has been a blast, and I absolutely cannot wait for this game to finally have its official release. This beta granted us a small story portion of the original Final Fantasy VII storyline, Crisis Core, and the newly released First Soldier storyline. Going through the story was a massive nostalgia trip, and I eagerly read through all the dialogue, not even thinking about touching the skip button, as it was nostalgia at its finest. The newly created story for First Soldier was a wonderful added treat, and I cannot wait to see how much lore and backstory we will get on Glenn, Matt, and Lucia. The character models and graphics during the story portion of the game gave me both an old school and yet modern feel alongside the hand-drawn character dialogue portraits. All in all, I am definitely looking forward to seeing the rest of the Final Fantasy VII storylines retold through this upcoming mobile experience. So far, I give the story experience 4 out of 5 Buster Swords. The combat in Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, in short, was very simple, engaging, and fun. You form up to a party of 3, and every character utilizes their basic attacks automatically in combat. An ATB gauge is present for all characters, which dictates which skill they will be able to use based on the cost of the skill and the current amount present in the ATB gauge. While you can only control one character at a time, players are able to freely switch amongst their 3 characters, adding a layer of strategy should you choose to control your party manually. Every character has access to limit breaks, which unlock for actions taken and damage taken. Lastly, players are given access to both an offensive and defensive formation that you can switch back and forth to either push more damage or reduce incoming damage from a boss. Speaking of bosses, indicators are given for when they are about to use a powerful attack, and there is even a portion during combat where you can effectively interrupt their powerful skills if you attack them with the correct weakness. All in all, the combat experience so far was a fun experience for me, and I look forward to what else they can add to it. I give the combat 4.5 out of 5 Buster Swords. The growth system for characters, weapons, and materia are compiled with some very familiar yet easy to understand mechanics. As for characters, they progress through leveling, which is done by winning battles. They can further increase their statistics via character streams, which is Ever Crisis's version of character boards. These boards have nodes which can be unlocked by earning character memories. Weapons have 3 ways you can strengthen them, which are leveling via whetstone materials, unlocking their level cap, and upgrading their rarity. The rarity system is quite fair, as every weapon has a respective 3-star, 4-star, and 5-star. If you happen to earn enough parts or the higher rarity of a weapon, you will then upgrade its rarity and retain the lower end via parts. At 5 stars, weapons can be overboosted with parts obtained from duplicated 3, 4, and 5-star weapons. Finally, Materia will have a similar growth system with special potions that increase their levels. In addition, you can farm up specific materials to synthesize stronger versions of materia with better stat upgrades. All in all, the depth and mechanics of the growth system in the game has its complexities, but they are not at all hard to understand. I give the growth system for characters, weapons, and materia a solid 4 out of 5 Buster Swords. The menu interface and lack of tutorials for some functionalities is one of the gripes I have with the game, and one where improvements can definitely be looked into. While we have nice backgrounds to look at with the interface, finding what you need can be a bit of a chore, and at times I felt like some of the buttons were a bit misleading in what they do. For example, when you click characters, I at first thought it was a list of characters I currently had access to. Instead, it took me to the character stream boards. In order to actually see the available characters, you had to go through the party setup or characters and select the character option at the bottom of the screen. Some other things, such as equipping different limit breaks, were not directly explained, and you would have to figure it out through trial and error. I hope to see a bit more improvement in regards to the menu interface for the game's official release. For now, I give it a 2 out of 5 Buster Swords. Multiplayer for this game was interesting, as it was only available during certain times of the day, and you only had access to 1 hour of it. This could be because of the server stability, but I found myself wanting more multiplayer, and in my opinion, would like to see more of it available for the official launch. Not only that, but multiplayer proved to be the most effective way to level up your characters, and the first time currency rewards given were worth it. With that being said, I give the multiplayer experience 3 out of 5 Buster Swords, as the gameplay was fun, but the time frame locks were a bit of a letdown for me. Lastly, I want to cover the gacha for this game. I seriously hope they keep the rates and the generous systems that were showcased for the gacha. 7.5% for a 5-star is fantastic, and having the stamp system and the edit weapon system were great for manipulating which weapons you wanted a better chance at pulling. The amount of currency given was also very generous, and I do hope they consider not changing this, in my opinion, as it would draw more fans and even new players to the FF7 franchise to try out this game. As it stands, I give the gacha system a solid 4.5 out of 5 Buster Swords. Overall, my experience with the closed beta was a ton of fun, and I personally feel this game has a lot of potential. I understand there are concerns of it being only Final Fantasy VII related, but as long as they listen to their community, implement changes based on feedback, and not make questionable decisions, I foresee the game having a solid, successful run. I look forward to the official release of Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis.